Have you ever found yourself hesitating at the bottom of a staircase? Or noticed that getting up from your favorite chair takes just a little more effort than it used to? If you're over 50, you're not alone. Changes like these are completely natural. But natural doesn't mean inevitable. And it certainly doesn't mean you have to settle for a life that feels smaller, slower, or less free. In fact, right now might be the perfect time to make a change. Not a dramatic one, not something that flips your life upside down, but a steady, thoughtful shift that helps you keep your legs strong, your body steady, and your freedom fully intact. Because your legs do more than just get you from point A to point B. They're what let you take a peaceful walk through your neighborhood. They're what help you keep up with your grandkids at the zoo. They support you when you're out in the garden or standing at the stove flipping pancakes on a Saturday morning. Strong legs are a quiet kind of power. They let you live on your own terms. They let you stay independent. And they give you the confidence to keep doing what you love. Now here's the good news. You don't need to join a gym. You don't need to lift heavy weights or run 5 miles a day. You don't need to buy expensive gadgets or fitness trackers. What you do need is a little consistency, a little awareness, and a few simple habits that actually make a difference. See, after 50, your body starts to shift in ways you may not even notice right away. Muscle naturally starts to shrink. Your bones can lose some of their strength, and balance gets a bit trickier with time. That's not your fault. It's biology, but it doesn't mean you have to let it happen without a fight. You can take back control. You can stay strong, steady, and sure-footed. You just need to know what's happening and how to respond. That's what this article is all about. We'll walk through 10 of the most common reasons your legs might feel weaker after 50. Things like muscle loss, sitting too long, or not getting enough of the right nutrients. But more importantly, we'll show you exactly what you can do about it. Simple tips, small actions, real results. You won't be asked to do anything extreme. Even a 10-minute walk around the house each morning can make a difference. Stepping outside for a bit of sunshine can boost your vitamin D and your mood. Swapping one meal a day for something more protein-rich can help support your muscles. Each little choice adds up. Each small change builds momentum. And before long, you're not just maintaining your strength. You're building a life that feels better than it did yesterday. So ask yourself 5 years from now, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel steady and flexible? Or do you want to feel limited by aches, stiffness, or fatigue? The good news is the future is still up to you. Let's explore each cause, and let's take each step forward together. And hey, if this message resonates with you, pass it along. Because strong communities are built on strong legs. And strength? Well, it starts today. 1. The quiet thief of strength and how to take it back. As early as your 30s, your body starts to lose a little bit of muscle each year. You probably don't feel it at first, but by the time your 60s roll around, the process speeds up. And suddenly, things that used to feel easy like standing up, walking steadily, or climbing stairs feel just a little harder. This slow loss of muscle is common, but just because it's common doesn't mean you have to live with it. Doctors have a name for it. They call it age-related muscle loss. But you don't need to memorize the term. Just think of it as a silent force that slowly chips away at your strength. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't cause sharp pain. But over time, it can shrink your muscles, weaken your balance, and make you less confident when you move. Worse yet, it raises your risk of falling. It slows down recovery after illness or injury, and it can gradually chip away at your independence. But here's the part that really matters. You can fight back. And you don't need to become a bodybuilder or buy a home gym. You just need to take a couple of smart, doable steps starting now. Step 1. Gentle strength training. You don't need heavy weights or complicated routines. Just 2 or 3 times a week, each session lasting 20 to 30 minutes. Try things like chair squats where you stand up and sit down without using your hands, leg lifts while standing, light resistance bands, or even small hand weights. Something between 3 and 8 pounds is great. The goal isn't to push yourself to the limit. The goal is to wake up the muscles that have gone quiet. Because once you get them moving again, they remember what to do. You build strength. You build stability. And little by little, you build confidence too. Step 2. Eat enough protein every day. Your muscles need the right fuel to rebuild, and protein is at the top of that list. If you're over 60, aim for about 1 gram of protein per 2.2 pounds of body weight per day. That means if you weigh around 150 pounds, try to get 68 to 82 grams of protein daily. Here's what that looks like in real food. One palm-sized piece of chicken about 3 ounces gives you around 25 grams. 1 cup of milk has 8 grams. Eggs, salmon, lentils, soybeans, Greek yogurt, and cottage cheese are also great options. Spread your protein across your meals. A little at breakfast, lunch, and dinner works better than loading it all into one meal. And for an extra boost, make sure you're getting enough vitamin D and omega-3s. They help your muscles recover, reduce inflammation, and keep your body working the way it should. The bottom line? Losing strength with age isn't the end of the story. It's just a signal, a sign that it's time to take action. And with every small workout, with every protein-rich meal, you're not just maintaining your strength. You're building a stronger, steadier version of yourself for today and for the years ahead. 2. When your legs feel off, it might be more than just getting older. Ever felt a weird tingling in your legs like they're falling asleep for no reason? Or maybe it feels like tiny pins are poking your skin. Sometimes your legs just feel weak. Not painful, but not quite steady either. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. These could be signs that the nerves in your legs aren't working as well as they used to. And that's something worth paying attention to. There's a condition called peripheral nerve damage, and it's more common than people realize. It happens when the nerves outside your brain and spine get irritated or damaged. For many people, it sneaks up slowly. First, you might notice numbness in your feet. Then, you start to feel off balance while walking. It might even feel like you're stepping on cotton or sand. Some folks describe it as walking with socks on even when barefoot. Now here's the important part. These strange feelings aren't just annoying. They're signals. Your body is telling you that your nerves may need help. What causes this? The biggest reason in older adults is type 2 diabetes. When your blood sugar stays too high for too long, it damages the tiny blood vessels that feed your nerves. That's why nerve issues often show up first in your feet and legs. In fact, in the US, nearly half of long-time diabetes patients will deal with this kind of nerve trouble. Another common reason is not getting enough vitamin B12. That's the vitamin your body uses to protect your nerves. Without it, your nerves start to fray, and that can lead to numbness, weakness, or balance problems. Older adults, especially those over 60, are more likely to have low B12. It's even more common if you follow a strict vegetarian diet, or if you've had stomach problems like gastritis or Crohn's. You may not notice it right away, but over time, symptoms can include mild numbness in your hands or feet, trouble sensing temperature like not feeling hot pavement or cold floors, feeling off when walking on uneven ground. Left untreated, this kind of nerve damage can become permanent. So what can you do about it? Start by managing your blood sugar. If you have diabetes, keeping your A1C under 7% can help slow down nerve damage. It's not just about numbers, it's about quality of life. Next, make sure you're getting enough B12. Adults need at least 2.4 micrograms of B12 each day. Good sources include lean beef, chicken liver, tuna and salmon, eggs, milk and dairy, fortified breakfast cereals. Just 3 ounces of lean beef about the size of your palm gives you nearly all the B12 you need for the day. If food isn't enough, talk to your doctor. They may recommend a supplement or an injection. And don't forget movement. Gentle walking, balance exercises, or even light yoga can help your nervous system stay active and alert. In a nutshell, peripheral nerve damage doesn't mean the end of independence, but it is a wake-up call. By taking small steps now with your meals, your movement, and your mindset, you can feel steadier, stronger, and safer with every step you take. 3. When every step feels heavy, your legs might be asking for help. Have you ever gone for a walk and suddenly felt like your legs were weighed down like they were made of lead? Each step feels harder than the last. And before long, you need to stop. Not because you're out of breath, but because your legs are begging for a break. If that sounds familiar, you could be dealing with a blood flow issue called poor circulation in the legs. This happens when the arteries that carry oxygen-rich blood to your legs get too narrow or even blocked. And without enough oxygen, your muscles start to struggle. It's like trying to run a marathon on empty lungs. Your legs get tired. They cramp. They may even feel tight or achy after just a short walk. One of the most common signs is pain in the calves when walking, but it usually goes away if you stop and rest for a bit. Some people describe it as muscle fatigue. Others say it feels like a squeezing or pulling deep inside the leg. And as things get worse, you might even feel pain while resting, usually at night. One leg might feel colder than the other. The skin may look pale. Your toenails might grow slower. You could even lose some hair on your legs. In serious cases, if blood flow gets too low, you could end up with sores that don't heal. And in extreme situations, untreated blockages can lead to tissue damage. Who's more likely to face this issue? Anyone over 65, people with diabetes, those with high blood pressure, folks with high LDL cholesterol, and especially people who smoke or used to smoke. The truth is, more than 6 million adults over 40 in the US may have this condition, and many don't even realize it. So what can you do? Step 1. Stop smoking, if you haven't already. It's the single most important thing you can do for your arteries. Smoking tightens your blood vessels, raises your blood pressure, and speeds up plaque buildup. It's like pouring concrete into your bloodstream. Step 2. Try a special kind of walking therapy. Now I know what you're thinking: walking? When walking causes the problem. But here's the thing. A structured walking program where you walk until you feel a little pain, rest, then keep going has been shown to help. It trains your body to use oxygen more efficiently. Start with 3 sessions a week. Rest when needed, and build up slowly. Studies show that within 12 weeks, many people double how far they can walk without pain. Step 3. Manage your blood pressure and cholesterol. Aim to keep your blood pressure under 130/80, and your LDL, the bad cholesterol, ideally below 100. If your risk is high, your doctor might aim for under 70. Try switching to a heart-healthy diet rich in leafy greens, fish like salmon, olive oil, and a handful of nuts. Your doctor might also recommend medicine like statins or a low-dose aspirin to help your blood flow more freely. Bottom line, if your legs are sending signals that something's wrong, listen. It's not just part of getting older. It's your body asking for more oxygen, more care, and a little attention. With a few small changes and the right support, you can get back to moving comfortably again and enjoy the freedom of every step you take. For a little sunshine vitamin that keeps your legs strong. There's a tiny nutrient that plays a surprisingly big role in how steady and strong your legs feel. It's called vitamin D. Most folks think of it as the bone vitamin. And that's true, it does help keep bones strong. But what many people don't realize is vitamin D is also a key player when it comes to muscle strength, balance, and avoiding falls, especially as we get older. As the years go by, our bodies don't make or use vitamin D as well as they used to. Your skin doesn't produce it from sunlight like it once did. Your kidneys get a little slower at turning it into the form your body can use. And if you live in a place with long winters, or if you stay out of the sun to protect your skin, your vitamin D levels can dip even more. Here's the tricky part: low vitamin D doesn't hit you all at once. It sneaks up slowly. You might notice your legs feel weaker than they used to. It's harder to get up from a chair without pushing off with your hands. You feel a bit wobbly when walking on uneven ground. Some people say it feels like their legs just don't want to hold them up. Now here's where things get serious. Low vitamin D levels have been linked to a higher chance of falling. And in older adults, falls are one of the top reasons for hip fractures, which can take months to heal or lead to other serious problems. So how much vitamin D do you actually need? The Institute of Medicine recommends 600 IU a day for adults between 51 and 70, 800 IU a day for adults over 70. But many doctors who work with older adults suggest going a bit higher, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 IU per day, depending on your health and your blood test results. Where can you get it? Start with sunlight, just 10 to 15 minutes of morning sun between 9 and 10:30 a.m. a few times a week can help. Then add foods like salmon. A 3-ounce serving gives about 450 IU. Tuna, sardines, and mackerel. Eggs, each one gives around 40 IU. Milk, 1 8-ounce glass of fortified milk gives about 100 IU. Fortified breakfast cereals. For example, a bowl of cereal with milk in the morning can easily give you 150 to 300 IU to start your day strong. Don't eat much fish? No problem. Vitamin D3 supplements are easy to find and affordable. You can pick up a bottle with 1,000 or 2,000 IU per pill for around $5 to $15. There are even gummy versions that taste like fruit candy. But be careful. Taking too much, over 4,000 IU per day, can cause side effects like nausea, trouble sleeping, or high calcium in your blood. That's why it's a good idea to ask your doctor for a quick blood test now and then. They'll check your vitamin D level, called 25-hydroxyvitamin D, and make sure you're in the healthy range. The sweet spot is usually between 30 and 50 nanograms per milliliter. Bottom line, vitamin D may be tiny, but it plays a big part in helping you stay balanced, strong, and confident on your feet. Whether it's through sunshine, a hearty meal, or a simple supplement, you've got more than one way to keep your legs strong and your steps steady for years to come. 5. If you don't use your legs, you might just lose them. You've probably heard the saying, use it or lose it. When it comes to your leg strength after 40 or 50, those words couldn't be more true. As we get older, many of us slow down. We sit more. We move less. And even though it might feel like we're just giving our bodies a break, what's actually happening is quiet, steady decline. Your muscles, especially the ones in your legs, start to shrink when they're not being used regularly. The nerves that help you move can get slower. And without realizing it, your strength, balance, and reaction time all begin to fade. Here's what that can look like. You feel tired after standing for just a few minutes. Walking downstairs or turning too quickly makes you uneasy. You walk more slowly than you used to, and you may find yourself tripping or wobbling more often. The culprit? Too much sitting. Whether it's watching TV, scrolling on your phone, or working from a chair. Long periods of sitting can put your body into a kind of hibernation, and it doesn't take long to notice the effects. In fact, older adults can lose up to a pound of muscle, mostly in the legs, in just 1 week of being inactive. That matters, because leg strength is about so much more than looking fit. When your legs are weak, it takes longer to recover from a fall. It's harder to bounce back from surgery or injury. And everyday tasks like getting out of bed, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries suddenly feel like chores. But here's the good news. You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy gear. You don't even need to leave your home to get moving again. Here are some easy, effective ways to stay active and keep your legs strong. Walking. Try 20 to 30 minutes a day. Break it up into shorter walks if that's easier. Walk around your neighborhood, through a local park, or inside the mall when it's too hot or cold outside. Swimming. A great choice if you have stiff joints or arthritis. A 30-minute swim can burn up to 250 calories, and it uses nearly every muscle group. Tai Chi. Think of it as slow, gentle movement with a calming rhythm. Tai Chi has been shown to improve balance and reduce stress. You can do it at home with a video, or check out free classes at local community centers. Light housework or gardening. Yes, even wiping counters, folding laundry, or watering plants helps keep your legs engaged and your body moving. Just starting out? Try this. Set a timer to stand up and stretch for 2 minutes every half hour. Walk around while chatting on the phone. During commercial breaks, take a few slow steps or do gentle leg lifts. In just a few weeks, you may notice it's easier to walk across the room. Getting up from a chair takes less effort. Your legs feel steadier and more like they used to. Bottom line, you don't need to train like an athlete. You just need to move a little every day. If you keep your legs in motion, even for just 20 minutes a day, they'll reward you with strength, stability, and the freedom to live on your own terms for years to come. 6. When your joints feel stiff and sore, it might be wear and tear, not just age. Ever stand up and hear a soft grinding sound in your knee? Or feel like your hips or knees just don't want to move in the morning until you take a few slow steps? That stiffness, that slow ache, it could be more than just getting older. It might be osteoarthritis. Now, that word might sound heavy, but here's the simple truth. Osteoarthritis is just the name for what happens when the cushion between your joints starts to wear down. It's the most common type of arthritis in the United States, affecting more than 32 million adults. Most often, it shows up in your knees, hips, or ankles, the joints that carry your weight all day. Over time, the cartilage that used to protect those joints thins out. That cushion used to act like shock absorbers. Now, the bones rub together. The result? A dull, aching pain. Stiffness after resting or sleeping. Trouble bending or rotating the joint. Swelling that comes and goes. It doesn't hit overnight. Osteoarthritis sneaks in slowly day by day. And by the time many people notice it, it's already changed how they walk, move, or even sleep. Who's more likely to experience this? Adults over 50. People carrying extra weight, especially a BMI over 30. Anyone with a history of joint injuries. Folks with a family history of arthritis. And people whose jobs or hobbies put a lot of stress on their joints. But here's the hopeful part. Even if you do have osteoarthritis, there's a lot you can do to keep moving comfortably. 1. Move, but move the right way. It might sound surprising, but exercise is one of the best things you can do. You don't have to push yourself hard. You just need movement that's gentle and smart. Great choices include stationary biking, easy on the knees. Swimming or water aerobics, the water supports your body. Tai Chi or light yoga, these improve balance and flexibility. Strength training like leg presses, supported squats, or light resistance bands. Always start with a good warm-up. Avoid sharp pain. And build up slowly over time. 2. Lose a little weight, take pressure off your joints. Here's a number that might surprise you. For every extra pound on your body, your knees feel about 4 pounds of extra pressure with each step. So if you lose just 10 pounds, that's 40 pounds less pounding on your knees. That makes a big difference, especially if you're feeling pain every day. 3. Consider medical support when needed. Sometimes, lifestyle changes aren't quite enough. There are safe, effective treatments to help you feel better. Over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen or naproxen. Cortisone shots to reduce swelling. Joint supplements like glucosamine and chondroitin, they help some folks. And in serious cases, surgery. Knee or hip replacements can sound scary, but they've come a long way. In the US, the cost is usually between $20,000 and $35,000, depending on your insurance. And within a few months, many people are walking better than they have in years. Final thought? Osteoarthritis may be part of getting older, but it doesn't have to slow you down. With gentle movement, smart weight choices, and the right care when you need it, your joints can stay strong, steady, and ready to support you for many more steps to come. 7. Could your medication be quietly weakening your legs? You take your pills every day, maybe for your heart, maybe to manage your blood pressure, or to keep your cholesterol in check. You follow your doctor's advice. You're doing what you're supposed to. But lately, your legs feel off. Maybe they feel tired after just a few steps. Maybe standing for more than a few minutes wears you out. Or maybe walking feels shaky even though nothing else has changed. If that sounds familiar, it's worth paying attention. Sometimes, the very medications that help your heart or lungs may quietly chip away at your muscle strength. This can happen slowly. So slowly, in fact, that it's easy to mistake it for normal aging. But what you may be experiencing is something called medication-related muscle weakness. And it's more common than you might think. Let's look at a few types of medications that could be involved. 1. Cholesterol-lowering drugs known as statins. Statins are among the most common prescriptions in the country. Names like Lipitor, Zocor, and Crestor might sound familiar. They're great at lowering bad cholesterol and protecting your heart. But in some people, about 5 to 10 out of every 100, they can cause muscle side effects like mild muscle aches, a heavy or loose feeling in the legs, fatigue that shows up during even light activity, In rare cases, less than 1 in 1,000 statins can lead to more serious muscle issues that need quick medical attention. 2. Corticosteroids. If you've been on steroids like prednisone for a while, they can lead to muscle loss. You might notice it's harder to climb stairs, or getting up from a chair takes more effort than before. 3. Other medications. Some cancer treatments, antiviral drugs, and thyroid medications can also affect muscle strength, especially if taken long-term. So how can you tell if your meds might be the reason? Start by asking yourself, when did these symptoms begin? Did they show up after starting or changing a medication? Keep a short note of your symptoms and share them with your doctor or pharmacist. Important: never stop a medication without your doctor's guidance. Instead, your doctor might lower the dose, switch you to a different medication in the same class, run a blood test to check if your muscles are under stress. Now let's talk about what you can do to help your muscles stay strong. 1. Eat more protein. If you weigh around 150 pounds, aim for 70 to 80 grams of protein a day. That's roughly the amount in 1 cup of Greek yogurt, 20 grams, 3 ounces of chicken, 25 grams, 1 cup of lentils, 18 grams. 2. Consider CoQ10 if you're on statins. Coenzyme Q10 is a natural antioxidant. Some people say it helps ease muscle aches linked to statins. A common dose is 100 to 200 milligrams per day. It usually costs around $15 to $30 a month. 3. Move a little every day. Gentle exercises like walking, light cycling, or even doing heel raises at the kitchen counter can help. Just 20 minutes a day can make a big difference over time. Final thought: your medication is there to help you live longer and better. But sometimes it comes with a few side effects your body tries to whisper, not shout. By staying in tune with how you feel and having honest talks with your doctor, you can keep your treatment on track and your legs steady and strong every step of the way. 8. Your bones might be whispering. Are you listening? You may not see it, you may not feel it, but quietly, day by day, your bones are changing. After the age of 50, it's normal for bone strength to slowly fade. For women, especially after menopause, this can happen even faster, all because of lower estrogen levels. And if you're not watching for it, this slow process can lead to something serious, something called osteoporosis. Let's break it down. Osteoporosis means your bones are becoming lighter, thinner, and more fragile. They're losing the solid structure that used to protect you from falls, twists, or sudden bumps. You won't feel pain until a fracture happens. And when it does, the recovery can be long, difficult, and sometimes life-changing. Here in the U.S., nearly 300,000 older adults break a hip each year. 1 out of 5 never walks the same again. Some need long-term care after just one bad fall. So, which bones are most at risk? Hips fractures here often mean surgery and months of rehab. Wrists usually from trying to break a fall with your hands. Spine, these silent fractures can cause ongoing back pain or even shrink your height. And it doesn't take much. Sometimes it's a slip in the kitchen, a quick turn to reach for something, or even sitting down too hard on a chair. Who's more likely to develop brittle bones? Women over 50, especially after menopause. Folks with smaller frames or lower body weight. Anyone with a family history of fractures. People who smoke, drink heavily, or take in too much caffeine. Long-term users of corticosteroids. Those with low calcium or vitamin D. Now, here's the good news: there's a lot you can do to stay ahead of it. 1. Fuel your bones the right way. Calcium, you need about 1,200 milligrams a day after age 50. 1 8-ounce glass of milk has about 300 milligrams. You'll also find calcium in yogurt, cheese, almonds, and leafy greens like spinach. Vitamin D, aim for 800 to 1,000 IUs daily. Get it from 10 to 15 minutes of morning sun, or from foods like salmon, mackerel, fortified milk, and cereals. If you're not getting enough from food, a bottle of calcium with D3 supplements costs around $10 to $20 and can last you a month. 2. Move the right way. Bones need regular movement to stay strong. Try these. Brisk walking 30 minutes a day. Taking the stairs when you can. Light resistance training 2 to 3 times a week, like using bands or lifting small weights. You don't have to push yourself hard. Just stay consistent. Even the gentle impact of your feet hitting the ground sends a signal to your bones stay strong. 3. Get your bones checked. Ask your doctor about a bone density scan, also called a DEXA test. It's quick, painless, and takes about 15 minutes. Medicare often covers it if you're over 65 or have risk factors. If you're diagnosed with low bone mass or osteoporosis, your doctor might suggest medications like Fosamax, Boniva, or newer options like Prolia. These can cut your risk of fractures in half within 1 to 2 years. Bottom line, osteoporosis isn't just something that happens to other people. It can happen quietly, and it may already be happening to you. But you're not powerless. With smart choices in food, movement, and regular checkups, you can protect your bones. And keep walking tall, steady, and strong every single day. 9. When your legs feel tired and your weight might be the reason. Have you ever taken a walk and felt like your legs were carrying more than their share? Like every step feels heavier than it should? That feeling isn't just about being out of shape. For folks over 50, extra weight doesn't just show up on the scale. It quietly puts a heavy load on your legs, your joints, and your muscles day after day. Even carrying just 20 extra pounds adds serious pressure. For every pound of added weight, your knees absorb nearly 3 to 4 pounds of extra force with every step. That means 20 pounds of extra weight can feel like 60 to 80 pounds pounding through your knees each time you move. No wonder your legs feel tired. Your joints wear out faster. Your cartilage thins. And your muscles have to work overtime just to keep you balanced. But here's something most people don't realize: it's not just about fat. There's a condition called sarcopenic obesity. It happens when you gain fat but lose muscle at the same time. You might think, I'm bigger, so I must be strong. But inside, your muscles are quietly shrinking. And when that happens, things like standing up, climbing stairs, or walking across the room feel harder. Your legs begin to lose power even if you haven't noticed it yet. Here's how the cycle works. Extra weight makes you want to move less. Less movement leads to more muscle loss. Less muscle leads to more fatigue. Fatigue leads to even more sitting around. It's a frustrating loop, but the good news is you can break it. Step 1. Make small, smart changes to your food. Forget crash diets. You need fuel that strengthens muscles while trimming fat. Try cutting back on fried foods, sugary snacks and sodas, processed meats like deli slices and sausages. Instead, add more green veggies and fruits like apples and berries. Lean proteins, think grilled chicken, salmon, or eggs. Healthy fats, a handful of almonds, a sprinkle of chia seeds, whole grains like brown rice, oats, or quinoa. Aim to lose just 1 to 2 pounds a week. Even dropping 5 to 10% of your body weight can take a huge load off your joints and help your legs feel stronger. Step 2. Combine cardio and strength training. To burn fat and keep your muscles alive, you need both. Gentle cardio, walking, swimming, or riding a stationary bike. Aim for 150 minutes a week. Strength training 2 or 3 times a week. Focus on legs, hips, and glutes. Try simple moves at home. Sit-to-stand exercises using a sturdy chair. Standing heel raises. Light resistance bands. Start with 10 to 12 reps and rest when needed. What matters most is not intensity, it's consistency. Bottom line, extra weight, especially when it's paired with muscle loss, can quietly steal your strength. But it doesn't have to stay that way. With a few steady changes to your meals and your movement, you can give your legs the support they need and enjoy more freedom, more strength, and more energy with every step you take. 10. Stroke: when one moment changes the way you walk through life. It can start like any other morning. You open your eyes. You try to swing your legs out of bed. But something feels wrong. One leg is slow, heavy, hard to control. Your body doesn't respond the way it used to. Your thoughts feel cloudy. And suddenly nothing is quite the same. That's how a stroke can show up without warning. Fast. And it leaves a mark that's often felt in the way you move, especially when you try to walk. So, how does a stroke affect your legs? A stroke happens when blood flow to part of the brain is blocked or cut off. Within minutes, brain cells begin to die. And if the area of the brain that controls movement is affected, you may lose the ability to move one side of your body, often the leg. You may feel weakness or paralysis in one leg, trouble with balance, difficulty lifting your foot or stepping forward, more falls, even inside your own home. Some people also develop spasticity where leg muscles become stiff and hard to control. This can make walking uneven or cause you to drag one leg without realizing it. Let's look at the numbers. Each year in the US, over 795,000 people have a stroke. Almost 90% are ischemic strokes, meaning they're caused by blocked blood flow in the brain. And nearly half of all stroke survivors have trouble with mobility afterward. That means millions of people each year must relearn how to stand, how to walk, how to trust their legs again. Can your legs get stronger again after a stroke? Yes, but it takes time, effort, and a team approach. 1. Physical therapy. This is one of the most important parts of stroke recovery. A therapist helps guide you through movements that include gentle stretching to reduce tightness, practicing how to sit and stand safely, walking short distances using a walker or cane, balancing on different surfaces. Depending on your situation, many people start to walk again within 6 to 12 weeks of steady therapy. 2. Gait training. Walking isn't just about moving your legs. It's about reteaching your brain, muscles, and joints to work together. Your care team might suggest using a cane, walker, or leg brace. These tools help keep you steady while retraining your steps. Medicare often helps cover the cost of rehab with a doctor's referral. 3. At-home movement. Even outside of therapy, simple daily actions matter. Try seated leg lifts, ankle circles while sitting, holding the edge of a table while doing slow heel raises. These gentle moves help rebuild the connection between your mind and your muscles. But there's one more important step: prevention. After a first stroke, the risk of a second one goes up, sometimes 2 or 3 times higher within 5 years. That's why protecting your health is just as important as rehab. Focus on keeping your blood pressure under 130/80, lowering bad cholesterol ideally under 100, managing your blood sugar, staying at a healthy weight, quitting smoking completely, eating well. Follow the DASH diet, more vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and less salt and saturated fats. Bottom line, a stroke can change your life in minutes. But with the right care plan, patience, and steady action, your legs can carry you forward again. Maybe a little slower, maybe a little different, but still walking, still moving, still yours. Conclusion: small steps today, stronger legs tomorrow. Getting older is something none of us can avoid. But how we age, how we move through the years, that part is still up to us. If you've made it this far, then you already understand something important. Weak legs aren't just a natural part of aging. They're a signal, a quiet nudge from your body, telling you it's time to make a change. We've covered 10 reasons your legs may be feeling weaker after 50. Things like muscle loss, not enough vitamin D, too much sitting, or even recovering from a stroke. These are real challenges. But here's the good news: every single one has a solution. And most of them are simple, low cost, and totally doable. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars. And you definitely don't have to change your whole life overnight. Just take one small action today. That's all it takes to begin. You could take a 10-minute walk after dinner. Add a hard-boiled egg to your breakfast. Try standing up from a chair 5 times in a row without using your hands. Then tomorrow, do a little more. And the next day, just a little more than that. Because real strength doesn't come from pushing too hard, too fast. It comes from showing up consistently. A little effort, every single day. And remember, no two people are exactly the same. What works for your neighbor might not work for you. So talk to your doctor. Get your blood pressure checked. Ask about your vitamin D levels. Maybe get a bone scan or a simple muscle strength test. Most of these things are covered by Medicare or other senior wellness programs. So don't be shy. Ask, plan, and move forward with confidence. The right plan, at the right time, can keep your legs strong and keep you living the independent, active life you deserve. And if you found this guide helpful, why not share it? Pass it along to a friend, a sibling, or someone at church. Maybe a neighbor in their 60s who's been moving a little slower lately. Your kindness could be the spark that helps someone else take their first step. And if you'd like to keep learning, follow Health 365 or any trusted health source you enjoy. We'll keep sharing tips on healthy aging, nutrition, movement, and staying hopeful in this next chapter of life. Because here's the truth. Health isn't a finish line. It's a journey. And strong legs? They just might be your best travel companion along the way.